We need to face this head on, guys, and we need to do it now. I don't see the point in pretending that it won't happen anymore. A day will come when the Hypixel server will be shut down for good. It's common in the forums and in videos for people to make memes about Hypixel shutting down whenever the server goes offline for any reason, but I've always been curious about what would actually happen when the server goes offline for good. In what situation would the 40 to 60,000 players end up? What would happen to the players' stats if such a thing were to happen? What would happen to the people who run Hypixel if they lost their jobs? Could it theoretically mean the end of multiplayer Minecraft as we know it? What's going on, everyone? It's your favorite blue guy here. Let's hop on this trail and discuss some possible outcomes that could result from it. Let me start off by saying that I believe it's very likely that when the server does announce that they'll be shutting down, it'll be mainstream news, and I'm saying this with complete confidence. It might not be enough of an announcement to be covered by the BBC or CNN, but you can be sure that there will be articles written about this announcement from big companies, so a lot of eyes will be on it right from the start. There are a lot of big YouTubers who aren't normally Hypixel based that would likely put up videos about this. Of course, every creator of Hypixel would make some statements in some way. The news would very likely be the biggest gaming news of the week, unless some monolithic game were to be released on the same day, in which case it would just be the most impeccable timing, wouldn't it? In terms of how the players will react, I don't think I have to go into too much detail. I think it'll be pretty self-explanatory how the players will react. As I don't believe stats would be transferred to another server, there would certainly be a great deal of outrage in the community if this happened. I wouldn't be surprised if some of them even tried to file a lawsuit so that they could get some of the money back, but at that point things become more complex. Where would all the players who continuously populated the server end up? Well, if you were to ask me a few months ago, I was likely to have responded with MCC Islands or TuberNet, which still happens to be what I call it to this day, though there are a million different answers out there. As a result of TuberNet's disastrous launch, which I have made a video on discussing it, which you can watch here, I'm not so sure about the platform anymore. In spite of the fact that most of Hypixel's player base is still on version 1.8, most other servers have upgraded to version 1.9 and above, a version that seems to be failing more and more as time progresses. It's been my experience that migrating from 1.8 to 1.9 right away isn't the easiest thing to do. It can be quite frustrating at times as well, and I don't think that many players will want to spend the time it takes to do it. In the event that Hypixel shuts down, there's a good chance that these players will never touch the game again, and losing that many players at once could spell doom for the multiplayer scene. I would have said a few months ago that the new players being introduced to the game via new-gen MCYT creators would be able to replace those players lost, but from what I've seen now, I don't think that's the case. It was a fad that led to that revival, and now that fad is past. There are definitely still people watching content focused on the game, they're still getting updates from their favorite creators, but I don't think they're actually playing the game themselves. Take a look at Tubbo's forum profile for his own server and you'll be able to see what I mean. In spite of the fact that his account has almost 10,000 followers, the server's still unable to get even a fraction of that amount. There's no way these people are going to be able to easily fill the void created by Hypixel players leaving. Multiplayer Minecraft might suffer irreparable damage from it, and it might even lead to the collapse of the entire game. Now, it's certainly not the most likely scenario, but with no real alternative that's similar enough to Hypixel to migrate to, it's definitely something that can occur. The other thing that I could see happen is that there are a lot of servers out there that are trying their best to recreate the game modes on their own servers, and that they could try to convince some players to move to their servers. It's no secret that players know that if they switch to other servers, they wouldn't be able to get anywhere close to Hypixel's polished feeling. They'd know it wouldn't be the same. Not saying it isn't possible though. Some people made a server that completely duplicated ranked Skywars once it got deleted. But while it might be easier to replicate a game like that, I don't think any of these server owners can truly duplicate a Hypixel skyblock, or a Hypixel housing, or an authentic Hypixel Bedwars. But I do think there is one server out there right now that might have a chance at attracting players, and that is Wynncraft. Whenever it comes to atmosphere, items, and playstyle, Wynncraft is absolutely the closest thing to Hypixel, essentially being the precursor to Hypixel Skyblock. It would not surprise me at all if Wynncraft experienced a significant surge of traffic when Hypixel shuts down for good. A final option regarding where players may go is one that may also be valid. However, if it keeps getting delayed, it's possible that it may become not valid, and that option is Hytale. It's part of the Hypixel brand, and it's set to be packed with all the minigames that Hypixel offers on the server, and more. After Hypixel shuts down, this would be the most logical and direct place to move forward after that. Now, my only problem with this being the big thing is the delays involved with the implementation, as I mentioned earlier. Now that the game has been confirmed to not be released in 2023, it seems like players are starting to lose interest in it. If a release date is announced, I'm sure a bit of interest will be restored, but it won't be as great as it could have been. In addition to that, it'll likely be a paid experience. So why would a player choose to pay to obtain that experience back when they could take the chance and find it on their own game for free instead? said, I'm not able to fully back a Hytale surge when I see things like that. What would happen if the people in charge of running the server had to leave? As for finding work in other places, I'm confident that they wouldn't have a problem. There's already been evidence of the fact, with Doctor leaving the team to work for Amazon as a software developer engineer, and with several of the old Minecraft team headed to work for Hytale as software developers. There's no reason that the people who run the server should have to worry about the possibility of not being able to find another appropriate job for themselves. However, there may be a different story when it comes to the game masters. From what I'm aware, none of the game masters do any physical work on the server, which means that they don't write any code or do any development on it. It may be a bit more difficult for them to prove their cases. As far as I'm concerned, I don't think they'd be working at McDonald's or any other company like that, but I suspect they would not have the guarantee of success that I think the admins have. In any case, I wish all of them the best of luck in their future endeavors, and in terms of Simon, my best guess is that he'd likely join Hytale as a full-time employee. Make sure that you stay true to the brand that you've created. All in all, don't worry about the server shutting down in the near future. I doubt it will, and if it somehow does, it'll sting for sure, especially if you're like me and have spent 10 years being a part of the community. But there will be plenty of alternatives for you out there. I mean, you probably joined Hypixel for the first time because you were just trying it out, right? Who's to say you can't do that with yet another server? Anyways, that is all for today. I do hope you guys have enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like and share it with your friends as well. Have a great afternoon, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.